Hi, my name is Tracy Griffin, and I'm here to tell you why, as an informed consumer, you should be in favor of net neutrality. It's amazing to think that something as boring, seemingly boring, as internet infrastructure can have such far-reaching consequences on the internet-consuming American. As a consumer of the internet, you will suffer if net neutrality policies are not upheld and drawn up by the United States government. The issues surrounding net neutrality that are the most important are the ones that focus around money. The opposite of a non-neutral internet is a tiered internet where the internet service providers charges both the content creators and the content consumers for faster or slower internet. The best way to convey why net neutrality policies need to be upheld is to take stock of the current situations where internet service providers operate the marketplace and really to look at how internet should be treated as a utility but isn't classified as such. It's also important to look at how the internet will look in the future if net neutrality is not upheld, which could cause content to suffer, and the content that you do get to see will be completely dictated by an internet service provider. In order to understand why a non-neutral internet would not work, we first must analyze how the internet service provider market operates right now. Currently, 98% of Americans only have two choices when choosing an internet service provider, according to a study from the University of California, Santa Cruz. Internet service providers have carved out monopolies all around the country where they don't have to compete with each other on a large scale. The internet service providers are operating as an oligarchy, where a small number of service providers or companies have control of the market and makes it very expensive for any other companies to enter the market. This lack of competition is really troubling for the consumer because it's competition that would keep internet prices down. The way to keep those prices down is to treat the internet as a utility. Net neutrality supports that logic and supports the fact that it should be treated as such. Take, for example, the analogy that Tim Wu uses comparing the internet to interstate infrastructure. Without a net neutral internet service providers can cut a deal with content creators and give them faster access to their consumers. Imagine a fast lane on the interstate that only allowed GM cars to drive on it. GM could cut a deal with whoever was building that interstate to give them access to that fast lane. Wu points out that this scenario with the interstate is just inherently not right and is directly relatable as to how the internet should operate. A utility like the internet needs to be regulated so that internet service providers do not take advantage of content producers or content consumers. If the internet service providers keep operating as they are, and the internet is not treated as a utility and regulated as such, there will be disastrous consequences for consumers. The quality of content will suffer. Allowing internet service providers to discriminate against certain types of content would be disastrous for the enjoyment and access we have to this content. If these producers know that the content is going to be difficult for the consumers to load because they didn't pay for that premium access, they will not be willing to invest in creating great content. In this way, the internet service providers would be gatekeepers of the internet. An informed consumer would know how dangerous this is to give the internet service providers this power. President Obama recently released a statement calling for the internet to be reclassified as a utility or content carrier, which would allow the internet service providers to be regulated as a utility. This is a huge win for net neutrality. It's important that everyone realizes the far-reaching consequences of a non-neutral internet so that we can all get involved with keeping the internet as an open, free platform to all. Because this issue is not going away, so please share this video with your friends.